Yes, it's true. This awesome stiletto knife can be yours for free. Dear Hauntless member, do you own a stiletto? I doubt it, because if you're like most guys, you probably think it's illegal. And you'd be right, until now. Because today, I want to announce that because of some legal loopholes and clever design workarounds, we have just produced a custom stiletto that's perfectly legal, at least here in the US. We call our new knife the Enforcer. And today, I want you to have this wicked looking weapon for free if you want. Plus, I'll also rush you, right along with your Enforcer Stiletto, a 1-hour DVD on the art of using your new blade. In fact, any knife, as skillfully as a highly trained commando. I'm not kidding around. I can say that because your instructors, the guys who will spill you their most treasured deadly shortcuts, are 4 of the most dangerous and skilled blade masters in the world, including a former Delta operative, an ex-homicide cop and knife trainer for SWAT and Spec Op forces worldwide, a former SEAL Team 6 member, and a frontline Spec Op team leader who was smack dab in the middle of some of the hairiest and bloodiest combat in recent history. These guys have all used knives in combat, so you'll be learning serious skills from the most experienced operators on the planet, guys who train other professionals and almost never get a chance to share these skills with regular civilians like you. I'll tell you all about this amazing and sometimes downright shocking DVD program in just a minute. For now, just know that the DVD is included in this Enforcer package, yours free. Hi, it's Jimbo over here at Fight Fast and TRS Survival on behalf of Bob Pierce and the rest of the crew. For over 3 decades now, we've built a rock-solid reputation for creating products that guys really want. This new Enforcer is just one more example, and there's a couple of good reasons why you need this. First of all, a stiletto is just plain cool. I mean, you've probably seen James Dean waving one around in Rebel Without a Cause, or the Jets and the Sharks sticking this to each other in West Side Story. So Hollywood finally got something right. It not only looks badass, but it's wickedly effective. Which brings me to my second point. The stiletto has been proven as a brutal offensive weapon in actual bloody combat, which is why it was a favorite among the much feared and respected Devil's Brigade commando unit during World War II. It was known as a silent killer, stealthy, deadly. Yeah, this is a damn scary knife, one that sends shivers down the spine of any sane man. Don't believe it? Well, that's why I want you to prove it to yourself on my dime. Here's how you're going to do that. Get an Enforcer in your hot little hands, then invite your buddies over for a beer. Tell them you've got something special for them. Don't let them know what you're talking about. Just keep your little secret to yourself. Let their curiosity build. When they arrive and settle in and you've got their full attention, casually draw the Enforcer smooth and quick from your pocket and then flip it open. I swear, if your pals don't jump back in terror, if their eyes don't bug from their head, if they don't scream like little girls and then laugh their heads off at their own fear, well, then I'll eat my hat. Oh, yeah, and I'll also give you this awesome knife. That's right, if you don't think this is the coolest, most dangerous looking knife you've ever owned, and if your stunned pals aren't busy trying to outright steal this from you, then I want you to have this Enforcer as my gift to you. Yep, it's yours for free. More on that in a bit. For now, I only ask that you at least be careful. The Enforcer has a razor-sharp edge that can cut and slash and even whittle sticks, just like a regular pocket knife. So, you can use it as your everyday carry if you want. Okay, let's take a closer look at this beauty. First of all, the folded size of the Enforcer is just over 5 inches, so it's a comfortable carry. The beefy and extremely durable steel pocket clip holds firm while allowing for fast and easy draws. But probably the most shocking feature is the lightning-fast, spring-assisted open. It rides the very edge of legal limits. So quick, in fact, you almost can't even see it, which is why some wrongly think that the Enforcer is illegal. Granted, it snaps open so blazing fast that it almost looks like a switchblade, but it's not a switchblade. It's just a wicked fast knife that also happens to be a damn menacing weapon. The 3.875-inch blade is forged from a 7CR17 MOV high-quality stainless steel, a perfect blend for corrosion resistance and edge retention. Your Enforcer will arrive to you razor sharp and is very easy to keep sharp. The open length is just over 9 inches. That's a good-sized knife with a generous-sized, comfortable handle. The Enforcer's thin blade and narrow spear tip is specifically designed to penetrate quick and deep through any clothing or jacket, even a thick leather coat. It's a wicked thrusting weapon, period. That's what makes it so terrifying. It's almost like an ice pick, which is why stilettos like the Enforcer have been nicknamed the Needle. The handle is made from a thick and very tough black anodized aluminum that's resistant to water and chemicals and heat, so you can take it anywhere under any kind of conditions. It will never split or crack on you. It's very tough and can take anything you can dish out. The handle also has got specially cut grooves to make a saber grip comfortable and safe. Your fingers will never slip even when wet or bloody, and the extra large dual finger guards ensure that your hand is completely protected even during hardcore combat. This is by far the most excellent thrusting weapon you'll ever get your hands on, one that garners respect and awe from your pals and fear from any opponent. So yeah, while it may look badass and your buddies may have to clean their pants after your initial surprise, don't let the vicious appearance fool you. This is our own design, our own engineering. So no matter what anyone may tell you, the Enforcer is legal here in the US. We made sure of that. Here's how you can get your own stiletto Enforcer right now. Just click the yes button below. Do that right away. The Enforcer is a $97 knife. That's what we're selling it for right now to the general public on Amazon. And that's a killer price for a custom stiletto knife of this quality. But as a Hot List member, you won't pay anywhere near $97. Nope, the price for you is nothing. Zip, zero, nada, as in no dollars at all, as in free. Plus, you get that awesome military-grade instructional DVD package I mentioned earlier on the art of using your new Enforcer. The DVD program normally sells for $69, which is a steal considering that you're getting hardcore knife fighting secrets proven by 4 combat experts in actual bloody combat. This is a world few guys get invited into, but we're drawing back the curtain and giving you a chance to see it all absolutely free. Here's just a taste of what you're going to discover in this 1-hour DVD program. First of all, you'll discover simple carrying techniques that allow you to have the knife out and ready in 1.5 seconds or less. Nothing fancy here, but a lot of guys get this wrong, which means they're fumbling around for their weapon during crunch time. You don't want that. Discover quick access carrying methods so that you're prepared and in a ready position in mere seconds, even if you're caught off guard. You'll also learn the 2 methods to holding a knife and which one provides tremendous control during combat. The second one is a more advanced hold that looks awful cool but requires more skill and training to wield properly. You'll also learn a very nifty invisible blade technique that makes your knife very hard to spot, buys you precious time while your opponent is confused and guessing about what you're holding and exactly where it is. Another thing is a very clever tuck back hold that protects the weapon and makes it nearly impossible to disarm you. Means you'll never have it stripped away from your grasp during battle, something very common during the heat of combat. Also, how your lead hand, or what's sometimes called your free hand or grab hand, can be a clever distraction tool until you're ready to strike. This puts the fight under your control. Another thing you'll discover is how to properly thrust the knife. As you'll see, it's nearly identical to a properly thrown boxer's straight punch, which is not necessarily a difficult move, but you've got to see how it's done to get it right. And it's how the Enforcer, or any stiletto, is most effective. You'll also see how to actually get more reach from your thrusting hand, very useful move that gives you a huge advantage. And it just keeps going, like how to use your empty hand to bait an armed opponent into making a stupid moves that opens them up to a counter-strike. Also a nifty technique to slashing at your opponent's free hand and get him to pull back his guard, allowing you to move in very close for an effective thrust. This is an advanced technique that will place you square in the company of the best knife fighters in the world. You'll also discover a target-rich map of the human body and which ones are most vulnerable to a knife, including 2 instantly lethal targets, and one of them is not the jugular. Also, why the eyebrow, of all things, is actually an excellent non-lethal slashing target to unnerve your opponent and take him out of the fight. Here's a hint. Gets blood flowing into his eyes and throws him into panic mode without you actually really inflicting any serious damage. Also, 4 readily accessible targets in case you're ever stuck on the ground with an opponent standing over you. These are targeted tended slashes that will make it impossible for him to remain standing, dropping him like a sack of potatoes. You'll also learn exactly where the femoral artery is and why cutting this means he's got less than a minute to live. And it just keeps going, like the 4 different X pattern drills that will embed vital slashing moves deep into your muscle memory. This is important because the techniques become automatic, instantly available to you in a flash without thinking. Also, why you should never assume that a lethal target will end it, because as our experienced combat vets will attest, people who should be dead somehow continue shooting and stabbing and fighting. You'll learn forward pressure moves that keep you in control until the threat is removed. Also, why clothing is a big deal. Fact is, winter clothing can make a huge difference on the effectiveness of your knife defense, especially slashing, which is why you'll learn 3 different thrusting paths, along with plug-and-play techniques like the quick thrust, the ripping thrust, and a thrust to slash move that maintains the fluid motion you'll need to maintain pressure and keep the fight moving in your favor. This DVD is an hour long, but it's a very intensive 1 hour. The material keeps coming, like specific use of force rules that hinge on opportunity, ability, and jeopardy. Gives you a good rule of thumb for rules of engagement, because let's face it, pulling a blade is serious business. But if your life is on the line, you do have the right to protect yourself. When in doubt, it's better to use force if you have to than to end up dead while pondering legal considerations. You'll also discover how to exploit what's known as the 45-degree blind spot. It's a cool positioning trick that takes advantage of a little-known flaw in the human perspective. The result, your opponent is always under the impression that he's being forced to react to you, placing you in control of the confrontation. And there's more, like the section on real-world scenarios and demonstrations. Look, the grizzled combat vets who are teaching you all this are guys who know through brutal experience what works and what doesn't in actual life and death struggles. So this information is gold. Here's what you'll discover in this section. First, exactly what to do when someone grabs your shirt with one hand. This is extremely common as your opponent tries to hold you in a position for a strike. If you've ever seen a couple of hockey players go at it, you'll know what I mean. You'll discover a simple pin and turn offline move that yanks your opponent out of balance while you draw your blade and perform a quick slash to the outside of his forearm. You'll see how to make this a non-lethal move, but it's sure to gain instant release, allowing you to escape or simply command what happens next. There's also a few simple ways to use the knife as an impact weapon. The trick is proper striking, and you'll see 3 very effective and readily available targets. It's not magic, it's all about the human anatomy, but it works. You'll also discover a simple move that prevents your opponent from grabbing your weapon. This was developed specifically because cops were getting killed with their own gun. Knowing this one simple move means he will never get your weapon. Another thing, how to disguise the move for your weapon so that your opponent is not alerted to your attention, and the 3 different methods to prevent a battle for the knife. This is vital info because you can be most easily disarmed when you're first going for your weapon. This is a sneaky way to keep it all undercover and maintain the element of surprise. There's tons more too, like the old US Marine hammer blow impact disarming tactic that literally knocks the weapon from his grasp. 6 follow-through techniques to use after the disarm to ensure that you end the threat. How to prevent the knife from getting trapped inside your opponent's body, which sounds awful gross, but it's a very common way to lose your weapon in a fight with your opponent still battling you. Also, a drill to catch, stop, and grab your opponent's weapon-bearing arm. 3 methods almost never taught in martial arts to stop an opponent dead in his tracks before he draws a weapon. The classic over and under military move that turns your opponent's blade against him and back into his own liver, and on and on. Yeah, this is a lot of material, but the best part is that you only need to watch it once to really get it. Works for anyone, even if you aren't big and strong, even if you know little or nothing about martial arts or defending yourself with a knife, even if you've never been in a fight before in your life. This is super effective training that's simple and easy to learn. If you've ever wanted to know some simple secrets to using a blade as skillfully as any Spec Ops soldier, then it's all right here. Best part, this $69 DVD is yours for free. That's right, it's yours to keep no matter what. So if you add it all up, a $97 stiletto knife plus a $69 DVD package, that's $166 worth of hardware and badass skills that you're getting for free, which means I'm actually losing money on this over-generous offer. No worries, I'll make up the difference on Amazon. But here's the thing. We've developed a solid reputation for handling Hot List members better than everyone else, and I'm determined to continue on with that tradition. I'm convinced that's why we continue to thrive in business after over 3 decades. As a Hot List guy, you're treated like gold, allowed in on deals that nobody else can get in on, which is why you, and only you, can actually have this amazing knife for free if you want. Here's how that works. When this package arrives at your door and you eagerly tear it open, if you don't feel like a kid on Christmas morning, if your buddies aren't drooling with jealousy, if every person who sees this elegant brute of a weapon doesn't gasp and automatically take a step back, in fact, if you're not 100% thrilled for any reason, even no reason, then I want you to email my company at support@fightfast.com and get all of your money refunded, but keep the Enforcer and the DVD instruction as my gifts to you just for taking the time to check this out. So, you see, this really is a free offer. A very generous one too, wouldn't you agree? Okay, everybody here at the office thinks I've lost my marbles, especially my quivering accountant. He swears people will simply rip us off. Well, if this offer were going to the general public, I might agree, but it's not. It's only available to Hot List members like you, and I completely trust you and your judgment. But to soothe over some ruffled feathers and some jittery nerves over here, and to make sure this insanely generous offer doesn't send the company into bankruptcy, I've agreed to some strict limitations. First, there are only 500 packages available as part of this deal. That may seem like a lot, but there are over 5,000 Hot List guys who've just been told about this deal. Second, you can keep only one knife for free. Order as many Enforcers as you like. You won't find it anywhere else, only here at Fight Fast and TRS. They all come with a 100% money-back guarantee. If you aren't thrilled, just return everything for a fast and prompt refund, but keep one of the Enforcers for free, just for your troubles. Third, there's a strict time limit on this, just 7 days. If in 1 week there are still some of the 500 special packages left, which I seriously doubt, but if there is, this deal will be turned off anyway, and it's back to full price. So just hurry, okay? Because at this price and with a guarantee that allows you to keep a stiletto for free, these 500 packages won't be around for long. So click on the yes button now and let's get the coolest knife and the know-how to use it into your hands as quickly as possible for a price and guarantee that only the crazy guys over at Fight Fast and TRS Survival would ever offer you. This is Jimbo signing off, but before I go, please allow me to do a quick recap of what's going to happen when you hit the yes button right now. First, I'm going to rush you that awesome Enforcer stiletto knife. This is a fearsome piece of weapon that's going to send shockwaves, respect, and awe from anyone that you show it off to. It normally sells for $97, but for you and other Hot List members, it's free. The only thing I ask is that you at least cover the small shipping and handling fee. Number 2, you're going to get the Enforcer Knife Fighting and Defense DVD package. It's 1 hour of intensive knife instruction from 4 world-class combat experts who've been there, done that. This normally retails for $69, but it's also yours for free. Number 3, you'll also get a 100% money-back guarantee on your shipping and handling fee. If you're not absolutely thrilled and delighted, just contact support and get all your money back, but keep everything just for your trouble. Yeah, that sounds crazy, but that's the deal. Just remember, though, that I've limited this generous offer to just 500 packages. If you act now, as in right now, you'll almost certainly get in on this deal. If you wait, even for a day, you'll probably miss out. If you hit a sold out page, no worries, you can still get the Enforcer minus the DVD on Amazon for $97. But why do that when you can get it here with the DVD for free? You can't get a better deal than free, so hit the yes button now and I'll see you inside.